Let me tell you about my ideas about mortality. I think it's a blessing that we humans are mortals. And we're the only living creatures that really know we're going to die. I fear only suffering and serious illness before death, but I don't feel the worry about dying, about death. What I want is, I hope I've written some directions to my children and my wife. What I want is that when I die, there can be a funeral, hopefully in a synagogue, if not a graveside service. And I want there to be limited eulogies. People who know me as either a good person or not such a good person, and I don't need to have a lot of speeches about me. And I want the family to just, when they remember me in what we call the Shiva days, which I hope are limited to 1 or 2, I want them to laugh. I want them to think of happy times with me. And I want everyone, life, in my opinion, takes precedence over death. So I want my wife, my children, my grandchildren, all of my family who survive me, and my close friends as well. I want them to go on. When you think of me now and then, laugh about funny things. I don't want, there needs to be a little grieving. That's the healing for all of us. But no, I don't want a lot of that. If my children have a cruise planned for the day after my funeral, I want them to go. I want them to celebrate the celebrations in their lives with happiness and knowing that I'm okay. And I'll be okay if I can know that they're comfortable and happy.
Okay. What are your thoughts about what happens after death?
I believe that we have a soul. I do not believe in an afterlife. I don't believe that somehow I'm going to go to a place called heaven and have all happiness and so forth. I kind of think when you die, it's kind of like before you were born. If we try to think about what happened to us or how we were before we were born, you can't. We don't know. And that's how I feel about death. I see it as eternal rest, and I see the soul living in my children, my grandchildren, my generations after me. Parts of my soul in some way will be there for them. Sometimes they'll feel it and sometimes they won't, and maybe be used as a guide toward good things. Just like I feel the souls of my parents. And I wonder about my grandparents, who I didn't know, but they were born in Russia, and they crossed the ocean in terrible times as immigrants and made a life for themselves in the United States. I know part of them is part of me. I wish I knew more about them so I would know those attributes that they had that have passed on to me.